about 5 years, we started looking. Just we hadn't really seen anything that caught our eye, and we had been looking up there in southern Colorado area, by San Luis, Fort Garland area, but nothing really caught our eye. And then I hadn't looked for about a year. I clicked on your link, and up came all these properties. I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
Hello, my friends. This is Dave Deniston. Glad to have a special guest with us, Sam Maes. Sam, hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You've been telling me you're about to head out to Hawaii and have a great time out there.
Oh yeah, we'll be leaving here soon.
Awesome. Tell me about you a little bit. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I'm a native of Colorado, 7 generations here. So
7 generations.
Yeah, so our family's got a lot. Our roots are here, and we really love Colorado.
My wife and daughters and I went to Estes Park back in August during the pandemic, and we had just such a wonderful time, even though it was really weird with trying to get into the national park, and like we found ways around it, but man, it was a great time. We just loved it up there so much. Do you have a favorite place you guys like to go visit in Colorado?
Oh, we love Colorado, but we do love to travel. So any place new that we go, we love that. Like now we're going to Hawaii. We can't wait to experience and take pictures and put it up on the wall.
Yes, totally. You guys got kids?
Oh yeah, we have 2, a boy and my son. He's 24. My daughter's going to be 23. They're both in the military.
Wow.
So one's up now. My son's up in Texas. Was it Sanford, Houston, and my daughter's back here. She's the one in Springs. So busy visiting and watching them still grow as adults.
Well, thank them for their service. Gosh,
well, thank you.
I admire people that do that. It's just never been something on my heart. But were you in the military at all yourself?
No, I was not. A lot of my family was, and the kids. I had leg injuries that I would not. When I went in, they're like, "No, we can't take a chance on you."
Really?
For playing football and wrestling, my injuries were too great.
Did you grow up seeing a lot of Colorado? With your folks, were they taking you around?
Yeah. Or? Well, it was a majority of my grandpa, on my dad's side. He owned property up by Veta, Colorado, our Red Wing. So they had 300 acres up there, and as time went, nobody wanted to manage it, so they sold it all. And now that I'm an adult, my brother and I, we wanted some land, and it just happened. We looked that day and saw that piece of land for sale. We're like, that's the one we want. So we're familiar with the area.
So tell me about La Veta and going out there. Was it something like you went up every summer, go hanging out with grandma and grandpa out there?
Oh yeah. So my grandparents on my dad's side, they owned property up there, and we'd all go up there in the summer when we were out of school. So we'd stay up there probably a month or so, and my grandparents and my parents would go up there, and all the family would visit, and we had a large family gathering. My mother's from there. That's where my dad met my mom. They ended up getting married. So there's 2 sides of each family there. We'd have large family gatherings.
Oh, how fun. What a great memory. I have a lot of my family from Washington State, and there's this whole old family homestead that been in the family for like 100 and something years, probably 130 years now. And I've always said I'd love to own it and to get a piece of it back, right? In a sense, what you're doing now, that's got to feel pretty
exactly
awesome.
It's not Red Wing, but it's close.
Well, hey, it's all about what works. So obviously family influenced you a lot to look for land and thinking of the past. Tell me about the process of when did you start looking? Have you been looking for like years, or did this just happen recently? Or
no, it's been about 5 years. We started looking. Just we hadn't really seen anything that caught our eye, and we had been looking up there in southern Colorado area, by San Luis, Fort Garland area, but nothing really caught our eye. And then I hadn't looked for about a year. I clicked on your link and up came all these properties. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then the next time I clicked on it, the properties were almost all sold. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, it's been a crazy environment. I started buying and selling land back in 2017. So we're over about 4 years now in this business. And man, it's the pandemic changed a lot, for a lot of people wanting to get out. And it's harder and harder to buy stuff for me,
Oh, yeah.
as well as for someone like yourself, because things just move so quickly. I'm curious to know, like, what was it like for you pre-pandemic? Did you have any changes in your life that kind of caused you to kind of relook again, or?
Just, we knew we were hitting a pandemic, and we knew that there'd be opportunities. So my wife, my brother and his wife, we were just saving our money, waiting for the inconvenience. The only thing for us, we kept working. We didn't get laid off. We were very fortunate. So we stood the same, other than having to wear the mask and quarantine and get vaccinated. We had to follow all those rules, but our life really didn't change too much other than the restrictions of the mask and going out.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I was talking to a teacher earlier today, and it's just like, man, all the changes as a teacher, for some people, like looking for land became a big deal for them. It's like, I want a place I can hide away, right? And get away from everything.
Well, that's what my brother told me.
Your brother was feeling that way.
Well, I guess I should, when we say COVID didn't really mess with us, we tried to go camping last year, and we could not find a spot. They were filled everywhere we go.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're like, this is ridiculous. Just go find a spot. So my brother was looking, he stopped, and I looked, and we got lucky.
I love it. Well, I think one of the great things I enjoyed about working with you on this, I think you were in touch with Christy initially, and then
yes,
you and I started talking for a little while. You definitely did your homework. So
that's a lot of money just to give away.
Right. Totally. So I would love to hear from you, for anyone that's listening to this, what did you do? How did you go about that process so they can better understand kind of what you did?
So, one of my family members is in real estate. So I first went to them. I said, hey, this is kind of quick. I need help finding out about Gen Fam. And they're like, hey, well, I'll look into it. And he looked you up, saw you had a couple businesses and everything, said, hey, look legit. And he said, but you need to call San Luis and or Castillo County and get with their clerk and recorder. So that was the next thing I did. One thing with the COVID up there, they only work Monday through Thursday, and they are only in the office from morning hours to somewhere in the afternoon, early afternoon. So that was tough for us. But once I gave them a call and I understood what the book and page, and then I called the treasurer, I called the assessor's office, and there was some, because like you told me before, they were behind. I had a little bit of hesitation or pause there because I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's showing this person owns it when you said you were. So until you gave me the book and page, that would have been fastest. If I would have understood that, I could have gave that to him right away, and that would have saved me a lot of time.
For sure. Well, I think you asked some really great questions, and this is something, we put some blog posts and other podcasts about before. So everyone make sure to check out some of the prior episodes in terms of some of the things to look for. And certainly you can always ask us for a recording number or book and page number or something like that. I'm curious to know, what's it been like to do business together? Has it been pretty easy? It sounds like you have some curious about it.
This has been the easiest process. That's why I thought, is this a scam? Hold on. This is too quick. This is too easy. Usually everything that we do requires a process. And my wife and I and my brother, we're type of people that are used to going out and making business deals and shaking hands and signing paper. This was by far the easiest, but also the scariest for us because we were not used to, we know there's a lot of scams out there. Yeah. So we were like, wow, what is this too good to be true? But once Castillo County showed that you were the owners and everything was legit, and I also checking the Better Business Bureau because you're out of Colorado. it showed you were in good standing, but it wasn't on their list. So that was like, okay, that's kind of different. But everywhere we looked, your business is exceptional. There was nothing that we had to be concerned about.
I love it. Well, the biggest complaint I get is the property I want is sold. That's the biggest complaint I get.
That is true.
Yeah.
I did not foresee that. I thought, all right, when you told me it was going to sell fast, I was like, how fast could that go? And then we looked the next day and there was a contract. I told my brother, wait a minute, they're messing with me. But no, you're absolutely right. Even after we made the deal, I went back and I've been looking at how fast the properties are going. It's just amazing. You have to put that deposit down. You have to be willing to call immediately and get all your questions answered so you can make that deal, because it happens fast.
Well, I think the pandemic definitely changed stuff, for me and my business. And even before that, I think for like the property that you bought from me, I think we paid like $4,500 for it or something like that. And back 3 years ago, I probably could have bought the same property for $2,000. Yep. So, that just shows you how much things have changed in just a short time period. And then on top of that, I'm often competing myself with other people to try and buy the same thing. And so on my end, I have to move quick to buy stuff. So it's crazy world.
It was crazy. It's after we made the sale, I went back to look at a few more properties, and it was amazing. They went up another 4,000. So I'm glad we were able to purchase it at the price we did.
I think you guys got a really, really good deal. Really, really good deal. You got some good equity in that particular property. I'm curious to know, do you have any suggestions for me, just as ways we can improve in dealing with clients? And I think we do pretty good, but, can always do something better. So
the one thing that I thought, you gave the information quick, you got back to me fast. There's no doubt about that. But when people are going to just give the money or put on a credit card and say, hey, we're done. The one thing I just wanted to make sure you were a legit company. That in itself, I would say when you check Better Business Bureau, unless they're in state, it's a little different. But if people if they know a real estate agent or a broker, they look with my brother-in-law looking up your information almost immediately because of the ties that he has and information that he knows how to look it up quickly. I felt super confident. But for you, I'd say you guys are quick. I would definitely tell people to get that booking page. That made everything easier and more legit once you see your name on it rather than seeing this person's name.
Absolutely. And I'm curious to know, would you, if someone asked you, would you recommend our company? And if so, what would you say?
Oh, I already did. I told a couple guys at work, I said, hey, they're legit. They were fast. They got their paperwork done. They gave me the information I needed. They were helpful. And never once when I called or left a message, you guys got back to me the same day. So that was excellent.
Awesome. Glad to hear it, my friend. Any other closing thoughts you want to leave with us?
I wish everybody the luck we had, and we're ready to go camping.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy it. Sam, thank you so much for joining with me.
Thanks. You have a good one.